Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ironworker Gaming channel. I am Ironworker814 and we have another Destiny 2 PvP viewer requested weapon review coming your way with the recently introduced darkness themed pulse rifle, the Cold Denial. We'll take a look at pros, cons, stats, damage numbers, potential rolls, and how to obtain the weapon. This weapon review was requested by Bayo90 and the Smelly Drifter, and if at any point during this video you find the content useful, helpful, or enjoyable in some way, feel free to give that thumbs up button a click. And consider subscribing to the Ironworker Gaming channel to see more videos similar to this one. But the Cold Denial has been getting a lot of attention lately, and generally speaking, there's a good reason for this. Aside from sitting in the recently buffed archetype of pulse rifles, it also comes packing some new and interesting perks, as well as some old trusty ones, that can make Cold Denial feel very unique and extremely deadly. So we're going to take an in-depth look at Cold Denial in this weapon review and explain its performance in the Crucible, right after we take a look at how to obtain this weapon for those who have not done so already. Alright, to get the Cold Denial, the first thing you're going to have to do is reach rank 45 in the Season of Arrival's Season Pass, regardless of whether you're going down to free-to-play or the paid track. But this is just going to get you the base roll for the gun. There are absolutely random rolls that can be acquired. First way to do so is just by decoding a standard Umbral Ingram. To increase your odds of obtaining one, you can always turn your Umbral Ingram into a pyramid-focused Ingram. And to increase your chances even further, you can choose the Arrival-focused option. It will cost you 100 pyramid bucks to do this, but you will have a 50-50 chance of getting the Cold Denial. And that's basically all there is to that. So let's head into the stats and damage numbers. Cold Denial is a legendary kinetic high-impact pulse rifle shooting at 340 rounds per minute with a base 27 rounds in the magazine. Taking a look at Cold Denial's stats compared to other high-impact pulse rifles, they all line up pretty well, with stability being slightly below average. The range is also slightly on the lower side, but I found some weird things going on with that, and I'm going to touch on that a little later on in this video. But checking in with Light.gg for the hidden stats, we can see we have an aim assist value of 32, with a bounce intensity of 27 and a recoil direction of 73, causing Cold Denial to pull slightly to the left. Intrinsically, high-impact pulse rifles are more accurate when stationary and aiming down sights. Taking a look at the options and perks, for simplicity's sake, I'm going to be using the base roll for the analysis, since everyone should have this, and I kind of like this roll anyway. But we will take a look at some other rolls that you can acquire when we get into the pros. For the barrel option, we're using small bore for increased range and stability. The magazine is flared magwell for increased stability and reload speed. In perk column 1 we have Zen Moment, where causing damage with this weapon increases its stability. Are you starting to see a trend here? And in column 2 we have Head Seeker, so body shots landed with this weapon increase precision damage for a short period of time. And it also comes with a Masterwork Instability, which is much appreciated on this archetype of pulse rifle. For the damage numbers, Cold Denial will do 36 points of damage on a headshot and 22 points of damage to the body, giving us an optimal time to kill of 0.67 seconds, requiring 5 crits in one body, and a body shot time to kill of 1.6 seconds, requiring 10 shots landed. Keep in mind those damage numbers are for Guardians running 6 resilience. Agent Sparkles here was running 4 resilience, so we were able to down her with a 3 burst to the body. So the body shot time to kill here was roughly 1.2 seconds. And for the Headseeker damage buff, which is brief, and by brief I mean like it has to happen within the same burst. The precision damage will go up to 38 points per bullet, provided you land a body shot previous to the crit. This actually allows you to hit your optimal time to kill with 4 crits in 2 bodies, provided your bursts land body crit. And with all that out of the way, let's head into the pros and see what Cold Denial can do well inside of the Crucible. Alright, first off, Cold Denial and the high-impact pulse rifles are becoming one of the strongest weapon archetypes in the game. That 0.67 second time to kill value makes it extremely competitive, and the only primary weapons to best this time to kill at base are sidearms, which are basically close range option weapons only. But Cold Denial can hit its optimal time to kill from much further out, and it does this with a 5 crit 1 body bullet combination, which is a good deal more forgiving than the previous 6 crits required. Next, the roll you're going to pull right out of the Season Pass does a lot to help you with the weapon stability. And as we saw in the stats, that's the department that Cold Denial needs help in. I mean, in general, pulse rifles need stability, especially the slow firing archetypes where missing shots is more punishing. I mean, you don't want your pulse rifle flying off target when that initial burst comes out, and the base model of this gun has a barrel, a magazine option, a perk, and a masterwork, all to help ensure that this does not happen. And while this is a pretty good roll on the gun, we do have a lot of other options. Here's the full list of barrel and magazine options as well as the perks. And one thing I've been noticing about these darkness themed weapons is that they are stacked with great perks. Alright, if I had to pick my god roll here, I'd probably take chambered compensator for the barrel attachment, but there are a lot of other great options here. For the magazine option, I would take ricochet rounds all day. In perk column 1, I'd probably just stick with Zen Moment, cause stability. But both Killing Wind and Feeding Frenzy are strong options in their own right. In perk column 2, I would probably take Eye of the Storm, just to help out with longer range duels, but don't discount Swashbuckler. This will increase your damage output by 30% with 5 stacks, making your precision damage jump from 36 per bullet to 45 per bullet. Also, don't forget about your pulse rifle mods in the seasonal artifact, since both cost next to nothing to equip and do help out a great deal. And lastly, just something I thought was pretty neat, the U in your ADS reticle will start to glow red when you are low on bullets. Like I said, it's nothing crazy, it's just a nice quality of life thing. It lets you know when you're ADSing that you're gonna have to start thinking about stuffing some more bullets into the gun real soon. But there are some drawbacks, and one of them really took me by surprise. And we'll take a look at those as we head into the cons. Alright, really we just have two main cons to touch on here. First one is more opinion based, so we'll get that out of the way first. And that would be the sights. Cold Denial has that U-shaped sight with a reasonably thick frame. The fact that the top of the sight is wide open is great for physical target acquisition on in-air targets. But those wide sidebars can really hinder the tracking of targets who are moving laterally. They are so thick in fact that they can completely hide a secondary target when zoomed in on an enemy guardian. And unfortunately, Cold Denial has selectable barrels, not interchangeable scopes. So, the sight configuration that you're seeing is what you're stuck with. But into what I consider to be Cold Denial's biggest flaw, and that is the range. The base roll of Cold Denial is going to see damage fall off at the 29 meter mark. So I really don't consider this to be a long-range pulse rifle. Now everyone's classification of ranges are different, but I would consider this the high end of mid-range. In its weapon type, Cold Denial can be bested by the aggressive frame and the adaptive frame pulse rifles, which can reach out past that 45 meter mark in some cases. And then even in its own archetype, it does not measure up very well. Just last week we did a review on the Mac in a Day, which is a very bare bones, high impact pulse rifle that can reach out to 40 meters before seeing damage fall off. So I decided to range test a few other pulse rifles. My Redrick's Broadsword will see damage fall off past the 36 meter mark. My Premonition pulse rifle will see damage fall off past the 37 meter mark. My Eyestein with Rangefinder and a couple other range enhancing perks can reach out to 53 meters before seeing damage fall off. Now obviously there are a lot of variables that play into the range of these pulse rifles, but even my Cold Denial with some pretty decent range enhancing options and fully masterworked in range will see damage fall off at 31 meters, which makes me really feel like I wasted those cores. And Killing Wind is the only perk, aside from the damage dealing perks, that can physically help out the range of this weapon, and you must first secure kills to proc it. And 29 to 31 meters is really not a sit back and sip a daiquiri while clicking on heads range. You're not exactly in the thick of things here, but you are within the lethal range of many more weapons than you would be sitting just another 10 meters back. If you happen to have a roll on Cold Denial that can really stretch out the range, please tell me about it, and please tell me what perks and selectables you have on it, because I would love to know. But generally speaking, the range issue is a major drawback for me. So for the verdict, and would I recommend using Cold Denial in PvP? even given the range issues, it's a definite yes. The strong time to kill values and the wide variety of perks make Cold Denial a great option for most players. Lower skill players or players who just have a difficult time landing headshots may struggle with this weapon, but generally speaking, if you are comfortable playing in a little closer with these high impact pulse rifles, Cold Denial is a weapon that will serve you very well. So as always, if you've made it to this point in the video and you did enjoy it, please remember to hit the like button. It helps the video out a great deal. And if you're not already subscribed to the Ironworker Gaming channel, feel free to do so, and turn on notifications with the bell icon to ensure that you do not miss a video. If you'd like to catch me live, I do stream on Twitch. I know it's been a while, but I've just been so stinking busy with YouTube, work, real life stuff, I haven't been able to hop on as much as I would like. But hopefully this will change in the near future. To contact me, you can look for Ironworker814 on Twitter, but the best way to do so is simply to comment down below. I love to hear your thoughts and feedback, and I will always take the time to get back to you. And with all that being said, I'd like to thank you for spending a piece of your day checking out this weapon review. You guys are awesome, and I will catch you on the next one.